In 1953, at McGill University in Montreal, two young scientists, James Olds and Peter Milner, were trying to make sense of a very peculiar rat. They had implanted an electrode deep into rat's brain, hoping to activate an area believed to cause fear. Normally, when a lab rat received a shock in its brain, it would run away, avoid the corner of gaze where it happened, and show every sign of hatred for the experience. But this rat was different. Instead of running away, it kept going back over and over to the same corner where it had been shocked, almost like it wanted more. Why would any creature, especially a fragile lab rat, returning to pain, where they're looking at the world's first masochistic rat? Confused but intrigued, Olds and Millers decided to test it further. Every time the rat moved slightly away from the corner, they gave it another jolt. To their astonishment, the rat quickly learned the game. It would march in a way. The rat quickly learned the game. It would march in any direction they wanted, forward, backward, left, right, so long as the shock kept coming. It was as if the rat had become a living joystick. But this wasn't fear. This wasn't pain. Something inside the rat's brain has been triggered. Something that made it crave the shock as if it were a reward. The truth, Olds had made a mistake. Instead of implanting an electrode where he was supposed to, he had slipped it into another, an uncharted part of the brain. And this mistake would revive neuroscience. The tiny error had struck the pleasure center of the brain. When stimulated, it unleashed a surge so powerful that the rat would do anything. Ignore food, forgot safety, even risk death just to feel it again. To prove it, Olds and Milner placed rats in gazes with livers. When pressed, the liver jabbed their brain's pleasure center. Once the rats figured it out, they couldn't stop. One rat pressed the liver every 5 seconds, hundreds of times an hour, until it collapsed from the exhaustion. Others ignored food and water, preferring brain jolts to survival. Some of them tolerated painful electrical shocks if it meant they could reach the liver again. These rats weren't experiencing happiness. They weren't even satisfied. They were enslaved by desire. Soon, psychiatrists wondered, what if we tried it with people? At Tulane University, Robert Heath implanted electrodes in his patient's brain, giving them control boxes. Patients pressed the box endlessly, just like the rats. Some jabbed themselves 40 times a minute. One patient suffering from narcolepsy described it best. It's intense. It's frustrating. I keep pressing, but I'm never satisfied. What they discovered was chilling. This wasn't bliss. This was craving without fulfillment. The brain's pleasure center wasn't giving pleasure. It was giving the promise of pleasure, a hunger that never ends. Olds and Miller's accidental rat had uncovered a fundamental truth about human brain. We are not built to be satisfied. We are built to keep wanting. Every dopamine hit, whether from food, sex, shopping, gambling, social media, or even drugs, don't say you are happy now. It whispers, do it again, just one more time. And so, like those rats, we are running back to the liver, scrolling, buying, binging, billing the next click, next bite, next like, will finally make us happy, but it never ends. That's the hunting legacy of Olds and Milner's rat. A reminder that sometimes what we chase isn't happiness at all, it's endless promise of happiness.